What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, and it is time. The honeymoon phase is over to give my reaction and review to Madden 18. Was able to get my 10 hours along with the rest of the guys. No special privilege over here, but without that special privilege, I'm allowed to kind of say what I want to say and not lose out on a trip to Florida, even though hopefully the powers that be that may stumble upon this video take it with, my best ambitions to improve this game, because I truly do love the Madden franchise, and I want it to be as good as it possibly can be. And I start off things with my review referring back to Madden 17, which I gave a very favorable review. I'm the most unbiased guy. I like to think I'm one of the most unbiased guys in this community because I don't have any prerogative, any backwood dealing, on the strings of EA or anything like that. I give it Madden 17 an 8 out of 10. And I know a lot of people dislike that game. A lot of people that were, pretty big users in the Madden community they weren't like, I'm not feeling Madden 17. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play 2K or something like that. I love Madden 17. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and maybe even with upwards of that. I like the, being able to have player editing back in connected franchise mode. I felt the game was pretty damn smooth, had its faults, but I was a fan of the game. So that being said, I'm not just coming off like, oh, it's another Madden game, time to shit on the game, time to just be unnecessarily negative for the sake of being negative, for the sake of getting clicks. I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion of this game, and hopefully, if you've already pre-ordered the game, and you may get a future look of what you have in store for. And if that is the case, if you feel the same way that I do, once you get your hands on the game, make sure you let the EA developers know your thoughts and your grievances and stuff like that, because that's the only way that they're going to take some action, is if enough people maybe with power within this community start harping on them for this, them to improve this game, especially different facets of the game. And if you haven't bought the game, you haven't pre-ordered it, maybe this will put you off and make you stay there on Madden 17. If that's the case, make sure you download your boy C4's rosters so you won't be missing out. So I've kind of broken it down into sections all over the place. We're going to start with the overall gameplay. What you could tell is the cheese routes for Madden 17 are gone. Corner routes, really, just having speedy guys on the outside. I've had Torrey Smith, I've had Corey Coleman, all guys that are, like within that realm of fast outside wide receivers. And on 4 verticals against press man coverage, good luck. They're just really slow at the line in terms of their animation. You could debatably say that's more realistic, but those plays are gone. I'm sure it's only going to be a matter of time until people really find the next set of cheese plays, and it's going to, every year once the cheese plays come out, it kind of makes online play very frustrating, and I really don't like to partake. But I'm just saying the cheese routes from Madden 17 are gone. However, the C4 special is still fire. The outside toss, preferably to the left. You could go to the right if you're feeling a little funky. Still works great. I've used it with Isaiah Correll, Darren Sproles, LeGarrette Blount. It's looking nice. Sack animations do look better. I do like them. I'm still noticing, you're definitely going to need to tweak the sliders. I'm playing on all Madden just with the default sliders for just the all Madden that come. You're probably still going to want to tweak it to improve your run blocking a little bit, but it appears to be not nearly as brutal as it was last year, where literally it was horrific. It didn't seem like any of your offensive line stats mean anything. And I play with the Philadelphia Eagles a lot. They're one of the best offensive lines in football, and it still just felt like Brandon Brooks, Jason Peters, Lane Johnson were getting beat by like 70 overall players consistently. It seems like that is tuned up just a little bit, but you're definitely going to want to get your hands on some community sliders to perfect it. The run game is better. Running the ball does feel a lot more organic. Doesn't feel as clunky as it has been in years past. So that is always a plus. And obviously, coach adjustments are a nice thing. For those of us that played the NCAA series, they've been, a staple of that. It's nice to see those transition to Madden, especially being able to really mix and match your corners on wide receiver matchups. I like that from a defensive perspective. So overall, some goods and some bads there from the gameplay. But I definitely would say in terms of gameplay, it still is kind of early. I've only had 10 hours or so. I don't think I broke my 10 hours. I think I'm at 7 or 8 hours. Definitely enough to give an opinion on the game, but things can still change, absolutely. But as it stands right now, I do like the gameplay. Looking at MUT, obviously I'm not a big MUT guy, but MUT Squads does look cool. There's going to be a video coming out soon, or maybe it already did come out, that I'm looking to play with some of my subs in MUT Squads. And if that feature, it is online team play, and a lot of people are upset that they've kind of hidden online team play through the realm of MUT, which, a lot of people associate much with having to spend money to have lots of fun, which kind of is, I don't want to say that's the only way you can have fun, but it is an easy way, and probably you'll have more fun if you do spend money than just grinding it out. But MUT Leagues is cool, and it makes this connected franchise dude want to play a little bit of MUT. Weekend leagues, though, on the other hand, seem kind of nerdy to me to be useful. It seems like casual to even like above casual players. They're still not going to benefit from weekend leagues. It's going to be the kids that don't have jobs and don't really want to go outside on the weekend. Those are the the nerds are going to be people that benefit the most from the weekend leagues. And if you're really into MUT, the weekend leagues is going to give you some great rewards and help you build your team up real quick. And I definitely think there should be an upper echelon of those people that are just all out day and night grinding. But it seems like it's there's a too big of a gap from the sweaty tryhard kids and the casuals to really benefit from the Madden League. So not a big fan of that, but MUT Squads does look pretty cool. From a graphic standpoint, like I said, we're going all over the place. It's the classic. They made the shading and they made it a little bit darker, and the color corrections, I don't know what the proper term is, to make it look new, that they do every single year, just so at like face value, the game does look a little bit different. There's player shadows are really in depth this year for people that really care about that. There's still like the glitchy post-tackle animations where if a guy makes a tackle on the sideline, like his shins are through your body and stuff like that. I was kind of hoping that with the new Frostbite engine, they may make it a little bit different, and those little small things that, if you're really paying attention, kind of get you irked that you're all the way into Madden 18 on this next-gen console, and stuff that was affecting gameplay and overall graphics back in like 2002 still in the game. That's a little frustrating, to be honest. But I will say the face scans look legit as hell, especially with obviously the Frostbite engine. They should. For thumbnails, when you zoom in on a player to get a nice juicy pick for thumbnails, it looks better than ever. So I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due. But overall, I'd say meh, about middle way with the GFX. See, GFX, that's what cool people, edgy people call graphics. I think maybe next year will be, once they're a little bit more comfortable with the Frostbite engine, it'll probably even look a little bit better. But that is good in the realm of, people, there's some people out there that really want to see improved graphics every year. And now that we're onto the Frostbite engine, that probably will be the case for the next couple Maddens. Looking at connected franchise mode, which is where I think my opinion will be mostly valued. I'm going to say right now, 0 community features were added. We already knew this, but now it's absolutely confirmed that I've been able to kind of go in and look around. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because they always say, oh, we've looked and added some community features. I haven't seen one thing that was a glaring demand. OperationSports.com, one of the top forums to go to on Madden. For every year, they always open up with the features they want to see. I've already done my video on what features I want to see in Madden 19. And a lot, I would say 90% of the top 10 things I want to see added in connected franchise mode really represents what everyone else in the community want to see. And not one thing. I didn't see one thing that was very, very popular. Like the draft boards and stuff like that. Very small demographic. But it is what it is, man. We got shafted this year. And I don't want to be like, oh, man, FEA, these guys suck. I'm not giving them my money again. Just be optimistic that with how zero attention they put into it this year, surely next year they're going to revamp connected franchise mode and kind of like, here you go, guys. This year was for, like a good actor. They do one for them, and then they do one for you. And I kind of want to, at least in my mind, act like the EA developers did. Long shot for EA, and then in Madden 19, they're going to do connected franchise mode for the users. Maybe I'm sipping too much Kool-Aid, but that's kind of what I'm justifying everything as. Another thing is the AI still makes incredibly stupid cuts. Once the preseason goes, the final week, you still go on your free agency wire, and you can find plenty of 3rd, 4th round rookies cut. I've seen Caleb Brantley, Larry Ogunjobi, Chad Williams, Deshaun Hall, like rookies that are in the 70s overall, get cut straight up. Not even, able to pillage off a practice squad. Just cut. Absolutely ridiculous that AI has not been tinkered to just even hold on. Like, there should be just something in the AI, regardless of your depth at a position. Maybe practice squad could be acceptable, but if you have any player that have it so somehow the AI can register that anyone that was picked before the 5th round is going to make the roster. And in extreme cases, to make it a little bit more realistic, you could have maybe one cut, but the fact that it's still very persistent is frustrating as hell. The draft does look like it has, kind of heading in the right direction. Small little improvements, enough that the draft doesn't feel identical to Madden 17's draft. So that's, I guess that's a positive, because a lot of connected franchise mode feels very, very similar, which is my last point. It just feels like a reskin of last year's connected franchise mode, which is kind of what we all expected coming into the game. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I obviously have to play a lot of Madden 18 for my channel. That I was hoping maybe there's some subtleties that I was going to find a connected franchise mode that would drastically make it a lot better for me. I find the load times are a little bit longer than last year's game. I don't know if there's like stats to back that up. It just feels like it at face value. Maybe it's because it's EA Access. Once the full game comes out, it may be up to speed, but it feels slower and it feels the exact same, and it's really, really disappointing, to be completely honest with you. Some other things, like the connected franchise mode, the menus feel nearly identical. Usually you get a fresh reskin of all the main menus and stuff like that. Doesn't really seem like the case this year. Feels pretty lazily done. The soundtrack is decent. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar and Action Bronson, but if you're not a fan of rap, you're not going to like it. But at least they have no country bullshit. I remember, like, maybe it was last year before that, like half the songs were country. Unbearable. And lastly, I guess the last thing about other is the long shot mode, which is being heralded as the feature presentation of this year's Madden. It's average. I've only kind of just jumped in, just dabbled a little bit. I think it's really average. As someone that played the player career in FIFA, it's definitely not as good as that one. It really does kind of fall in the mold of like a Telltale, like The Walking Dead, click and play, very little gameplay action. But the thing is, it's not going to appeal to the veteran Madden players. I think that's kind of like, if you like it, you do, but their goal was to get casual players. I really don't see how Longshot's going to bring in casual players either. I mean, if you're casual and you want to get into football, you're still going to be disappointed the fact that it's just these cutscenes and a story, but you don't actually get to play a whole lot of football with it. So I honestly, maybe I'm missing that. Maybe someone that's like a Longshot defender can explain it to me, but I don't see how Longshot is going to attract even a casual audience. And I really do believe if there's one takeaway that I want to kind of come off across here for my review, is while you're giving feedback, you need to give feedback to the Madden developers. They even asked for it. Rex, who's like one of the top guys on Twitter, just retweeted and linked up all of the different users that you should be talking to for feedback. I already hit up the franchise mode guy about the AI cutting high draft picks. You need to let them know that Longshot is not good. If not, they're just going to blindly go, well, no one said anything about this, so they must like it. Let's put a lot of resources and time into Longshot in Madden 19. You need to let your voices be heard. That Longshot should not ever be a priority again. And even, even the MUT guys probably are going to be frustrated that not enough new things came to MUT. And it's because all the time, a lot of their time anyways, went into the Longshot mode. So overall, I'm going to give Madden 18 a score of 6 out of 10. I mean, it is a little bit biased because I am a connected franchise mode guy, and that is the mode that took the biggest hit this year. But I can't give it much more than a 6 out of 10 in good conscience because, in my opinion, Longshot, it doesn't do it for me, and I can't see how it does for the other Madden player. The graphics still are a work in progress. The gameplay, I will say the gameplay is definitely a positive, and that is, a big feature who's casual players, I believe. It's just the general gameplay on top of just, everyone obviously wants some decent gameplay. So I guess that being said, guys, ask me anything. If you guys didn't get your hand on the game and you want to get my opinion on something I may not have touched on, let me know in the comment section below, and I will try to get to it. And closing thoughts, it's another year of Madden. That's what it is. I wish I could be coming to you guys saying, man, I cannot wait for the full release of this game. I used up all my 10 hours, and I'm dying. I'm foaming at the mouth to get in. But really, it's not outside of just making content and trying new content and reviving old series. There's not a whole lot in this year's Ultimate Team. I mean, MUT Squads potentially, in terms of playing with subs and doing collabs with other YouTubers, there is that potential. But outside of that, man, I'm lukewarm in terms of my excitement for this year's game. Thank you for watching. This is your first time stopping by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out. Oh yeah, P.S. Couldn't leave without this. Ratings suck. The ratings suck ass.